Good morning, everyone. Today we are here again with our online classes for Geography Class 11. We were doing Chapter 1 from Book 2, that is India, Physical Environment. Today is 13th, 20. We started with the chapter 1, that is India location. Already you have attended the first two classes. You have seen in the first class we talked about India as a subcontinent. We discussed about the countries which are sharing boundary with India, and we also discussed about the latitude, longitude and time, that is the latitudinal extent, the longitudinal extent of our country. So moreover we have finished the chapter. Today we are just going to revise the chapter in a nutshell. What are you going to study in this chapter for your exams? The first thing regarding Indian location in this chapter, you need to know about the extension of the country in terms of its latitude and longitude. Not only in theory, you also need to know it on the map. So you need to practice the map and show the latitudinal extent and the longitudinal extent between which our country, India, is located. That is the first thing you are going to study for your exam in this chapter, which I have already discussed in the first three classes. The second thing which you need to know, how the extension of latitude from east to west affects India. We know that there is a nearly difference of from 8 degree to 37 degree difference between the northernmost and southernmost, and we have seen that because of this vast latitudinal extent, we are sharing two heat zones in one country, and our country is divided into two climatic zones by Tropic of Cancer. The northern part has the subtropical climate, which is in the temperate zone, and the southern part is in the tropical zone, because we know torrid zone lies between 23.5 degree north to 23.5 degree south, that is Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn. And we also know that from Tropic of Cancer to Arctic Circle we have temperate zone, and we have seen that the 23.5 degree north divides the country into two equal halves, having tropical climate as well as temperate climate. So this you need to explain what happens because of this extension. The next thing which you need to study in this chapter, how the longitudinal extent affects, or what are its implications. You have seen that the longitudinal extent between your west to east is nearly of 30 degrees, from 67 to 97. So there is a nearly difference of 30 degrees of longitude, and we know that 1 degree of longitude is covered in 4 minutes. So 30 degrees of longitude will cover in 120 minutes. So there is a difference of 2 hours. But we cannot have many time zones in our country, because it will create confusion regarding the train schedule, regarding the flight schedules. So we need to have one common time zone, that is, we have chosen the central meridian of India as our Indian standard meridian, and it is 82 degree 30 minute east. So you should know the importance of 82 degree 30 minutes east longitude for our country. Moreover, you will also find there is one question related to, should we have two time zones? Definitely there is a problem of 2 hours, so it means the sun rises to us early in the extreme of our east, that is the northeastern states, Assam and Arunachal. So people have to, if you want to save the daylight energy, we can have one more time zone which can create this, which can consume the daylight energy, which can reduce the consumption of energy. But still there are dialogues going on. So till then we have only one time zone. This is the third thing which you should know in this chapter. Then you should know what is a subcontinent. And why India is known as a subcontinent. We have discussed about the word subcontinent, that it is a part of a huge continent, a huge landmass having a geographical entity, physical entity, cultural entity, political entity. So it has its own identity. So in that way, if we talk about our country, India belongs to the South Asia. It's one of the South Asian country. It is located in the central part of South Asia, and because of its natural features which we see around India, if you talk about the north, it has mountains which creates a boundary between the Asian countries and India, and in the south we have vast expanse of water bodies which gives geographical a different identity to the geography of our country. It has a different climatic condition, a particular climatic condition all over the country, and because of the climate it has got its own natural vegetation and soil condition. So all this reason makes it as a subcontinent. And then we need to know the states and union territories of our country. That is must. You should know all the states. We have 28 states and 8 union territories, because there were, in 2019 we have seen that 2 more territories have been introduced in the schedule of your states and union territories, and one state has been divided into 2 union territories, and there is 2 union territories which has been merged into one, that is Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu. They have been merged into one. And Jammu and Kashmir, which was a state, it has been divided into Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh as union territory. So that is very important, and here I would like to tell everyone to please practice it over the map, because you should know the location of each state and each union territory in the map, political map of your country. Then only you can study the physical environment of our country in a better way. You can know which are the states through which Ganga passes, or which are the states where we find Vindhya range or Satpura range, because after this chapter you are going to study all about the physical environment in different parts of the country. So it's better you should know which state is located in which part of the country. And the last thing was, in this chapter, which you need to know for your exam, is the countries which share boundary, which shares boundary with our country. Besides knowing the countries which shares the boundary with our country, we should also know about our territorial water. That is, the boundary of territorial water extends to 12 nautical miles. So you should know what is nautical miles. 1 nautical mile equals to 0.8 kilometer. This is important. You should all know. And you should also know, which is not mentioned in your book, EEZ, that is economic zone, exclusive economic zone, which extends to 200 nautical miles. So this was all in this chapter, which you need to study for exams, or which you need to know basically from this chapter. Thank you. Have a good day.